Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome to SimUK. Welcome to my first ever look at SimRail 2021. Now this is the SimRail 2021, the railway simulator demo. It's not the full game, and I've watched a little bit of gameplay on my fellow YouTuber's channel, Joe Dobson. Definitely go check him out, it's excelente. What we're going to do today is take a first look at this. Now, what I'm really looking for here in this simulator is for it to be a simulator. I want it to be able to take the place where Train Sim World pretends it's trying to get to. Train Sim World for me is so basic, so limited in so many ways that it doesn't really qualify in my head as a simulator. It's more like a game, and with every update it becomes more game-like. I've already spoken out about Dovetail Games, and I know the videos that I've produced have reached the top of that particular tier, and I've also seen their BS backlash to try and dispute my claims. But I'm hoping today that this video and this game will show that there is far more they could be doing and reinforce the fact that they are taking the royal piss, truth be told. Right, let's get on, shall we? I'm going to bring my mic slightly closer to my boat race. I haven't played this at all, so this is my first look. Straight off the bat, we're running at 4K 60 FPS. That's good. Maximize window, VSync is off. FPS is limited to 60. Full resolution, FXAA fast approximate anti-aliasing. We've got TAA, SMAA. I might play with those later, but for now, let's not worry about it. The render distance by default is set to 800, but it goes to 1200. I'm not sure what that is, 1200 feet. I'm very interested to see what the performance is like. I've already seen some obviously I've seen a bit of Joe's footage, but I've seen some snapshots and some previous footage of the graphics, and I've got to say, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So if performance is high and the graphics are high, we're in for a really, really great experience. LOD bias, that's the level of detail bias. It's set to 1, goes to what, 2, 3? 2. Okay, so we'll leave it on 1. We'll leave everything on default for this first look. Ambient occlusion is on. Ambient occlusion quality is medium. Goes to highest. Shadow mode is soft. Shadow resolution is medium. Shadow distance is 400 meters, so maybe this is in meters. Doesn't actually say. Vegetation 100%. There are a lot of settings. Now this game is basically backed by the publishers Playway and made by SimRail. For me, straight off the bat, this is already looking far more evolved and far more capable than Train Sim World. And that's very exciting to see. I mean, it's early days, but the menu and the options in the menu and the ability to tweak and change the game's output in order to accommodate your PC is a very, very, very good start, I have to say. Sound, main volume 100%, mute and focus last, disabled, simulation, enhanced signal visibility. Oh, that's interesting. That might be useful for beginners like me. The simulation, I've got to say, the simulation element, I was expecting more options here. Just one option. It's not what I was expecting. Maybe that's something that's coming later on, who knows. Interface, again, very limited. So the graphics are vast. You've got an extreme array of graphical options available to you, but the sound is pretty limited, the simulation is pretty limited, the interface is pretty limited. Interesting. Camera sensitivity, orbit camera, blah 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 blah. Control rebinding and controller support will be available in the full game version. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be running only with mouse and keyboard today. Alright, let's jump in. look, we got multiplayer. It's not obviously part of the demo. We've got the depot. We've got the dispatcher. Now that's a very exciting thing. You can play as the dispatcher. That is brilliant. Well, I say brilliant. The idea is brilliant. What we're talking about there is, like for example, in flight simulators, you've got things like 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗍, where somebody is actually playing as the ATC, and it gives you a really authentic, really realistic kind of experience. That's what the dispatcher could potentially be in this game, and that is mind-bogglingly exciting for the likes of me. Train driver. Do you know what I find really interesting? Right, I think potentially, bearing in mind I haven't even got into the game yet, I'm a little bit excited, you might have noticed. Potentially, this is going to be so good and so realistic that the people who make Train Sim World are going to prefer to play this. That's how I feel. They might not say it out loud, they might not admit it, but I guarantee you some of them are going to be like, oh my god, this is actually very good and we need to up our game. I would love it for Dovetail Games to up their game, do better, produce higher quality content. That is what I've always asked for. I don't want this game to destroy Dovetail Games, but if that happens, so bloody be it. I'll say no more on the matter. Let's jump in. No idea what I'm doing. No idea what I'm doing at all. Right. Railway line number 1. Warsaw, 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗍 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗍𝗆. Okay, that's going to be difficult. We're going from Katowice do Górnoczyce via Bedzin. No, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Katowice, Bedzin, Zabrzowa, Górnicza, all the way up to Warsaw, 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗍. It's 316 kilometers, 316 kilometers long. Only 4 stations, it looks like. Running from Warsaw to Katowice. That's a lot easier to say. Warsaw to Katowice. Maximum speed on this line is 160 kilometers an hour. All right, let's do it. Railway line number 1. Okay, so there are 2 runs. There's a tutorial and there's an actual route. So this is very good, very exciting. Difficulty level 1. My god, okay, this is exciting. Like I say, I've watched a bit of Joe's video footage. I didn't watch the whole thing because I didn't want to dilute my own experience, so I deliberately skipped through his video, watched little bits and thought, oh my god, I'm loving this. So he was talking about some complexity around the controls. Obviously the actual controller support, etc., is coming later, so that's good to see. But I don't know if you noticed or not whether or not that this is difficulty level 1. He probably did. He's very thorough. So it's going to take 30 minutes. Difficulty level 1, which means, oh my god, look, 1, 2, 3, 5 levels of difficulty, and this is level 1. This is going to be insane. I tell you what, this is going to blow my mind. When the full game comes out, I'm going to be absolutely just exhausted from the experience. It's going to be like PMDG on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, not Microsoft Flight Simulator, because I don't think that's come out yet, is it? I don't know. I've flown for ages. Right, let's see what we've got here. Pause menu is escape. Travel direction is up and down on the arrows. Power controller, oh my god, this is not going to be easy, is num minus num plus. Pneumatic brake is 3 and 9. This is, I'm sure it makes a lot of sense to the people who are doing it. So what's this then? Barely any mouse control at all. Spacebar is driver safety device. Horn is U and J. Left doors are on I. Right doors are on P. Where's the audio gone? Front pantograph is F. Rear pantograph is
Welcome
R.
to SimRail demo. You are at Dąbrowa Górnicza Ząbkowice station. Today you will run passenger train 4665 on the section Dąbrowa Górnicza Ząbkowice, Będzin. You will use the 34WE electric multiple unit to operate it.
Okay. So, it says down the bottom left, enter text. I guess that's for the multiplayer aspect of the game. Can't believe they're going to have multiplayer. Right, okay, I'm a bit confused. What's going on? Have we crashed? Is it loading? Your guess is as good as mine. Okay. Let me pause and I'll see if I can figure this out. Wow, okay. So, I thought this was a picture, a drawn picture, but actually, look. These are the graphics we're running with. Wow. Okay, so let's take a little bit of time here and look at the train, and I've got to say, wow. They've even got the leather cover on the front connector there. So up close, I'm seeing some graphical issues. Some lighting issues on the side there, if you look by that left window. From a distance, it looks very, very nice. Very nice indeed. Very shiny. I remember seeing Joe mention just how shiny the train was. But there's a lot of detail here. These are not high quality renders right now. These are blurry. They're not sharp. Now, bear in mind, I've got a lot of graphical options. I mean, that's completely illegible. I've got lots of graphical options that could possibly sharpen everything up. The detail, though, is absolutely very, very high. Very high indeed. You can see they've got mirrors on, and I saw in Joe's video that the mirrors actually work, which is a big up your bum to Train Sim World, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, okay, so mixed bag right now. Graphically, we're not sharp, but do you know, I actually think in many ways this looks better than Train Sim World. Not fully across the board. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but I mean, wow. It does look good. It does look very good indeed. Right, let me figure out how to get onto this train. Am I climbing on here, perhaps? Okay, lots of cutscenes and stuff. Okay, so this is the tutorial. Oh, right, okay, so we've got a hover over control information sort of pop-up, vigilance button, whistle, horn. Right, now here's one thing, right, okay? Train Sim World, one thing that's always irritated me is how little of the cockpit is actually modelled. It's like you've got the same 5 buttons in every single train and nothing else really works. And the stuff that's supposed to be we're working on it, it's coming later, my arse. It's never going to come. Dovetail games are full of crap. They'll lie to you endlessly. I've really got to make my update video, bearing in mind my previous video ruffled a few feathers and they gave some very rude, disrespectful replies to the content that I made. I need to come back with a video on that, and I've really been waiting for this to come out, so it's going to be part of it. But it looks like pretty much every single button is modelled. Okay, we've got a couple here that aren't showing up. Bearing in mind this is a demo. There's pretty much all the buttons are modelled. Now the lighting buttons over here, or are these speakers? I'm not sure. Maybe they'll become active once the... Oh, that did something. Maybe they'll become active once the full game is released. Okay, so this is meant to be a tutorial. I'm not being tutorialized right now. Let's have a look, see if we can figure it out. Unlock the brake pipe, airtight test. We need a key of some sort. What's this? That's the emergency brake. The local brake, drive handle. Okay, there's got to be a key. Say vigilance button, whistle, washer, lights, light mode, wiper disabled, horn. Oh, that actually I think works better than Train Sim World's mouse interaction. It feels like there's a clearer click. Yeah. Okay, it's going to take a bit of getting used to, obviously. Right, I need to find the key to start this little beauty. Any of this accessible? You can't sort of get up and walk around, it doesn't look like. Whether that's something that's coming later, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not too bothered. That's not the case. So there are some buttons behind this controller here that I can't get to unless I move the controller. Okay, so how do I start the bloody thing? Come on, tutorial. Give me some idea. I have to go back and watch Joe's video because he's figured out how to do this. That's the doors, the horn, whistle, blah, standing, nothing, step, open doors, close doors, washer, dim lights, blah, 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 wiper disabled. I can't see a key anywhere. Aha! No, that didn't do it. Do it. Controls. Okay, that's not going to tell me anything. Let's restart the mission, just to see if the tutorial is coming.
Welcome to SimRail demo. You are at Dąbrowa Górnicza Ząbkowice station. Today you will run passenger train 40665 on the section Dąbrowa Górnicza Ząbkowice-Będzin. You will use the 34WE electric multiple unit to operate it.
Okay, 34WE EMU. Got to be something. What am I missing? Got some strange bleed going on there. If you look at the graphics, you see how that shadow is filling in there. Clearly there's some work needs to be done with the game, but it is early access. One thing I've got to hand to Dovetail Games is their tutorials are very good, normally, on the most part. But here, definitely that's something they're going to have to work on. If they want people to be able to learn how to use these trains, the tutorials have got to be better than this. This is kind of funny. Right, there's got to be a way to turn this on. One of these buttons here must do something. I looked down here and I discovered this engine room lighting. So there is an engine room, unless it means here, this room, but I don't see any lights on in here. Okay, that's beyond me. I don't know how to start this bloody thing. Also, it's a bit dark. This is the radio. Enabling radio doesn't do anything. We got a few cameras, which is nice. Looks like you can't move the camera though when you're in that position. Oh, some of them you can. 3 doesn't seem to do anything. So the zoom level that you set in the cab appears to affect the zoom level and the external camera as well. Okay. Let's figure this out. One thing I did notice, so for example, the accelerator and the brake, you've got neutral, you've got accelerate first gear, and then you've got like a press and hold. So you can just give it a little bit of acceleration just to get the speed back up. But if you want to accelerate constantly, you press it twice. Okay, I'll take that back. So in reverse then, in braking, it does that. So you can press and hold to brake, or you can double tap to maintain the brake and then go to emergency brake. That's going to stop you accidentally going into emergency brake. So brake once, brake like that. It's like put the brakes on gently, just to slow us down a little bit. Let go, goes back to neutral. Double tap, puts it in permanent brake. 3 taps gives you your emergency brake. That's something that's caught me out on Dovetail games constantly. So forward is like accelerate, give it some real boost, but it doesn't stay in boost position. I think that works quite well actually. The forward and back direction controller seems to work okay, and the other brake, same thing. So apply the brake, double tap to permanently apply the brake, reverse the brake, double tap to permanently apply the brake. Okay. So, all right, fine. So the braking system is reasonably good. I just need to figure out how to start this bloody thing, and I may have to go to Joe's tutorial, or not tutorial, but Joe's video, just to figure out how to do that. I wonder if there's a manual, actually. Let me have a look. Okay, so I just had a little quick look at Joe's video once again, and to be honest with you, what he's experiencing and what I'm experiencing are very, very different. So I'm going to go back to the main menu and just see if we maybe accidentally skipped the tutorial. I'm not sure. Railway line 1, next. That's set. We're on the tutorial. Let's play. We'll see if it works. Now, he was having some issues where he couldn't walk properly. I'm not experiencing that problem, but he turned the radio on and then basically did the same thing I did, but that turned the train on for him. So I'm going to try
SimRail
again.
Demo. You are at Dąbrowa Górnicza 𝗂𝘂 station. Today you will run passenger train 40665 on the section Dąbrowa Górnicza 𝗂𝘂𝗪 You will use the 34WE electric multiple unit to operate it.
Once again, it's stopped at that point.
First, we have to start by preparing the train. Walk towards the train and leave the cover panel next to the entrance doors.
Right. Okay, so this is what I have been missing then. How do I get out of my seat? So it didn't start the tutorial properly. How do I get out of my seat once I'm in my seat? Can you get out of your seat once you're in your seat? What did I press then? I pressed something and something worked. Right, let's just see if we can... Okay, we're going to start again. Restart mission. Yes. Right, this time I feel like we're going to actually make some progress.
Welcome to SimRail demo. You are at 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗃 station. Today you will run passenger train 4665 on the section 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗃 𝗬𝘆. You will use the 34WE electric multiple unit to operate it. First we have to start by preparing the train. Walk towards the train and leave the cover panel next to the entrance doors.
Alrighty.
Great. Now switch on the battery and then close the cover. It's time to enter the cabin. Use the 1 key.
Do I have to do that for both?
It's time to enter the cabin. Use the 1 key.
Oh, so I can press 1 and skip that animation.
Turn on the radio telephone. It will allow you to communicate with the dispatcher during the entire journey.
Okay. Let's do that.
Activate the cabin by turning the switch clockwise to the first position. Our vehicle is powered by electricity from overhead contact line system, so it's necessary to lift the pantograph. Use the button or a spacebar on a keyboard to deactivate the 𝗤𝗂𝗃 security system. These systems will regularly check your alertness while driving. Activate the cabin by turning the switch clockwise to the first position. Our vehicle is powered by electricity from overhead contact line system, so it's necessary to lift the pantograph. Activate the cabin by turning the switch clockwise to the first position.
Which one's the first position? I see what Joe means.
Electricity from overhead contact line system.
Shut up!
So
I
it's
see what Joe
necessary
means
to
about
lift
the controls.
pantograph. Use the button or a spacebar on a keyboard to deactivate the 𝗤𝗂𝗃 security system. These systems will regularly check your alertness while driving. Our vehicle is powered by electricity from overhead contact line system, so it's necessary to lift the pantograph. Our vehicle is powered by electricity from overhead contact line system, so it's necessary to lift the pantograph.
Like so. Wait for the pantograph to contact.
Now, close the quick circuit breaker. It's time to enter the cabin. Use the 1 key.
Okay, this is all over the place. 1.
Wait for a quick circuit breaker to close, and also wait for the converter and compressor to start. The correct operation of these devices is necessary, for example, to supply the braking system of a train. Now, set the forward direction. Turn the headlights to the drive position. During the day you can dim them to not blind the other trains.
That's clunky. I agree with Joe, that is clunky. Dim the lights.
Move the brake lever to the drive position.
Oh.
Hold down the main brake line button. Use the call button on your radio telephone to confirm the readiness to the train dispatcher.
𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗃𝗃 4665 ready to approach the platforms.
Impressive.
Wait for a white light to appear on the semaphore that will allow you to drive towards the platform.
4665 clear to approach the platform.
Alrighty. Let's give it some.
Push the throttle forward to accelerate. You can use the plus key on an ampad. Control the throttle not to exceed 25 km/h speed limit.
Roger. Nearly exceeded the 25 kilometers an hour. I've got to say, I think the audio needs a bit of tweaking, it needs a bit of polish, but my god, it's pretty good. It's all there. Just I'm not getting it in surround sound. I'm not hearing the noise coming from the right location, that kind of thing. Look at the way that guy's leaning. So if I try and go to an external camera,
put the lever backwards or use the minus key on the numpad to brake.
It causes all sorts of problems.
Allow the passengers to open the doors by rotating the switch to the correct side. Wait until the departure time. Close the doors after the train manager is ready, and ride the train according to the timetable, which you can slide out on the left-hand side of the screen. You can see the approximate semaphore indications and upcoming speed limits on the top right corner of the screen. Your speedometer will show you the set power, current speed limit, and current brake power. Your train stops at every station and train stop.
Oh wow, they open the doors themselves, that's brilliant!
Also, pay attention to dispatcher command.
That's brilliant. I tell you what else is really good. Watch her get on the train. She gets, it looks like she's getting sucked onto the train. But she gets on the train, walks down the train, and then sits in a seat. In Train Sim World, they get on the train and vanish, and then appear in a seat. This is the difference. This is what Train Sim World is not doing, and yes, I grant you, this is not a polished, perfect looking game right now. As a demo, it opens a lot of questions about, are they going to be able to go the full distance? But already they're doing things that Train Sim World are not doing, and they're doing it very well. So I am extremely excited right now for what's coming in the future.
Button.
Yeah. Unlock the brake. That releases the brake.
Disable the ability to open the doors by turning the switch to the correct position.
So now passengers can't open the doors themselves. Oh my god, this is looking so good. Right, so I've got to listen to the dispatcher. I love the fact that there is a dispatcher. Lights, I can't really see them very well, but it looks like we've got a green and an orange. I don't know what that means. So we're supposed to stop 40 kilometers away, so I don't think I'm meant to be here where I am. Just get ourselves to the end of the platform and hope that that triggers the next stage of the tutorial. Bearing in mind it's the first time I've looked at it, I'm seeing some graphical glitches and stuff. It's not perfection, but it is pretty good. Okay. It says ready. I'm ready for departure. So I'm just waiting for confirmation that I can depart, I think. I've kind of put myself a little bit too close to this light, so I now can't see it. My external cameras are not working at all well. I don't even know what camera that is. Can't move any of the camera views. So does that mean I can go? Kind of feel like we can go. I don't know though. I'm not sure what the speed limit is either. Fantastic audio. I'm doing 30 kilometers. Oh, I see. Bottom right-hand corner, maximum of 40 kilometers. Now, is that a red light I see before me? It looks like it is, but is it for us? It's difficult to see. Also, the zoom does not zoom in on my mouse. It zooms in like on a predefined angle, which isn't necessarily perfect. I want to zoom in on what I want to zoom in on, not
After leaving the station,
what you
can accelerate to the scheduled speed.
scheduled speed. Okay, 40 kilometers an hour. Decent looking environment. Quite impressed. I'd like to get the mirrors out. I don't know how to do that. So this doesn't seem to be operational right now. So we should have 2 pantographs up right now. So I'm guessing this is the free cam. Yes, it is. There's pantograph 1 and pantograph 2. So that's working really, really well. I don't know what difference there is between having 1 pantograph or 2. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, I want to see sparks, I want to see the pantograph actually connected, etc, etc, etc. Yeah, I get that. It's obviously not here right now, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the future. Alright, look at this, we can really accelerate now. Open her up to 120 kilometers. I'm loving the sun rays, the clouds actually look a little bit crappy. I was going to say pretty nice, but then when you actually look at them, you can see some issues. Now, I haven't tweaked the graphics or anything because I just wanted to run it as they set it up. I'm approaching a stop. Emergency brake on. I don't think we're going to stop for this. The lights are green though, so I missed my stop. Correct? I'm not hearing the dispatcher either. Slow down, you drive too fast to leave. Okay. So I got told off. I'm trying to go to the external camera. Is any of my train on the platform? No, it isn't. I'm going to have to release the brake, aren't I? Yep. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to back up a little bit. As soon as we see the light. I think we're close. If I stop too early again. let's get back a little bit more. Right, there we go. On the platform, let's make sure we're facing forwards. Yes, we are. Let's get the brake out of whatever it's in, back to neutral. Let's get the doors open. Oh look, the mirrors pop out when you use this thing. Why does it say OP? That's confusing me. OP is open right. I want to open right.
4665, ready for departure.
And look, you can see in the mirrors as
Hold
well.
down the
that's
main
working.
brake light button.
Though I'm not sure anyone's getting on the train.
It's time to enter the cabin. Use the 1 key.
Yeah,
Hold down the main brake light button.
doesn't like me being in the external camera, this tutorial.
Disable the ability to open the doors by turning the switch to the correct position. Push the throttle forward to accelerate.
Here we go. Or not, as the case may be. There we go. Okay, so I need to pay attention to my next stop. I believe there's at least one more stop before we've got the long jaunt to wherever the heck it is. Oh! Another train! Looks like a freight train. Nice! And they're not all full either. Some are, some aren't. That's pretty groovy.
You are
I like that.
Next stop.
Where is the next stop? Oh, not here already. We might stop in time. There's a chance. There's not a big chance. No, we've gone too far. Ah, nuggets. It does not slow down very quickly, this train, I have to say. I was expecting that to slow down far quicker. Right, let's get ourselves into reverse, release the brake. What have I forgotten here? I think there's something on the dial here that I should be looking at. We're very slowly rolling backwards rather than driving backwards. "15 kilometers an hour. Let's get the doors unlocked on the left. And the mirrors didn't come out this time. So I can see in the mirrors, the passengers are theoretically getting on. Yes, and off as well, which is nice to see. Okay, good. Let's unlock the brake pipe, get ourselves back and forwards.
4665, ready for departure.
Hold down the main brake line button.
So whilst we're ready for departure, I'm not hearing anything from dispatch.
Disable the ability to open the doors by turning the switch to the correct position. Push the throttle forward to accelerate.
Let's have a look, see here. We get there eventually. Obviously there's a bit of learning, a bit of experimentation required. Good audio. I don't think it's quite perfection, the audio, but it's definitely good. I don't know where my HUD's gone either. Very difficult to see. It looks a bit washed out. It needs to be, these especially need to be a bit more vibrant. So is that caution? I think that must be caution.
The visible semaphore indicates that the next semaphore is displaying the stop signal. Drive carefully.
So, by default, I should be coming down to, I think I put it into emergency brake by accident. I said I wouldn't be doing that, but I did do it. So I can see the stop sign there is red. The houses look very blocky at the moment. That's something that could definitely be improved. It's not terrible. Okay, so I can see the red light very well. That's not too bad at all. But the other lights, the orange and the green, maybe not so visible at distance. See a little bit of pop in there.
Use the call button on the radio to call the dispatcher.
Dąbrowa Górnicza, 4665, requesting permission to enter the station.
4665, approach to Dąbrowa Górnicza on permit signal on track number 1.
The substitute signal allows for entry in emergency situations at a speed of up to 40 km an hour.
km an hour, okay. That's cool, the semaphore is flashing, giving us an emergency pass-through option. We have, yeah, there we go. There's a light, I think, up here somewhere, and I have to wait for it to go out before I can accelerate. That's what I've not been waiting for. I can go up to 40 kilometers an hour, but I am inherently aware that the braking on this particular train is very close to non-existent. There's a blue light on this one. What does that mean? There's definitely a lot of LOD drawing distance issues. see if I can actually stop at this one properly. So I was looking at the lights and not really paying attention to the platform there, so I very nearly went too far. See, that's not coming up anymore. There we go. So passengers are getting on and off the train. It's all going very well. We've got a green light ahead.
4665, ready for departure.
Ready for departure.
The lever is in the braking position. Push it forward.
Thank you.
Hold down the main brake line button.
So,
Push the throttle forward to accelerate.
something here gives me indication that I can move forward. It's not there yet. Maybe it's over here. I'm not entirely sure what it is I'm looking for. Okay, so now it's okay. It just needs a bit of time. And the wing mirrors automatically move in. That's all animated. That's very nice. Few glitches, few slight graphical problems.
This is the end of the tutorial. Continue driving the train with Ben. Good luck.
Okay, so for a first look, that was pretty good. I'm mostly impressed. There is certainly some issues in some areas. Some of the graphics are pretty low, but the FPS isn't super good, I've got to say. And I'm not sure what engine they're using to build this. There's a few stutters. The LOD is quite poor in some areas, but I guess I'm just going to have to run it again. And yeah, ramp up the graphics. Now I know how to start the train, etc. I can kind of do that all on my own. But yeah, very impressed. Very impressed. Definitely feel like there's another station that I missed. But the lights are green, so showing a lot of promise. It feels rather early access at the moment, and they're going to have to work tirelessly to get this up to the standard it needs to be at if it wants to be the leading train simulation experience. But yeah, I mean, on the most part, this is very good. Some elements of it are exceptionally good. And I'm very interested to see what they can do moving forward. Just wondering, I mean, this is a super long track, but there's only a few stations. See, the lights are orange. Start slowing down for the next semaphore. Brakes are really good, actually. I'm starting to get too used to the control mechanism, and it's pretty damn good. Now, I'm not sure if I'm meant to be stopping at all these stations or not. And I'm also not convinced that the stations are... Ah, damn, that is tricky. The stations are realistic to their real-life counterparts. I'm not convinced that's the case. I'll be happily proven wrong. So we're waiting on the...
4665, ready for departure.
There you go. We are ready for departure. There's a few people still getting on and off the train, and that's cool. Just waiting for the go signal. I don't know if there's going to be one. I don't know if the tutorial accommodates for this or not. We'll just have to sit and wait. But yeah, most impressed, I have to say. Very excited for the future. Let's just see if we can contact... So much of that radio system is not operational. None of these buttons appear to do anything right now. A lot of the play information is in Russian, I'm guessing, or Polish, probably Polish. But very impressed. For a demo, okay, good. But if you're going to release the game like this, it's going to have to be an early access game. I'm sorry to say. And to not release it like that, to release it and say this is the full product, but don't worry, we'll keep working on it, that's not going to fly. And that's not going to fly because Dovetail Games have been doing that to us for years. And it's not acceptable. And we need a train simulation company to be totally transparent, absolutely honest. We can do this, we don't know if we can do this, we're going to try and do this. Not, oh yeah, don't worry, there'll definitely be multiplayer in the game, and then 3 years later not one step closer to that ever actually happening. What they do, and I've got real problems with this company, and I've done some background research and I've found some very interesting things. I'm sure you're going to find very interesting about Dovetail Games. But what they do is they hear the community who want head tracking, for example. They promise it, they put it on their list of things that are going to be worked on, and then they just take it off once you've stopped complaining. Oh, it's on the list, stop going on about it, it's on the list, and then when you stop talking about it, they take it back off the list again. This is what they do. And not only do they do that, but when I complained about them doing that and they put it back on the list because I called them out on it, they then claimed that it was their input which got it put back on. Underhanded, lying sons of bitches. That's Dovetail Games, and we don't want this to become like them. SimRail 2021 is looking very promising. Some parts they've done very well, some parts definitely need work. The controls here are not finalized, it does say that in the demo game, that's fine. Graphically, definitely some optimization problems. Some of the textures are very poor, but again, I haven't played with the graphics and stuff yet. But overall, really very impressed, I've got to say. I'm so excited about the future for this game, and I hope it develops and evolves really well. I don't think the dispatch is going to allow us to travel any further. That semaphore is stuck on red. Maybe I'll try the other part of the game, the non-tutorial part of the game, and just see how that goes. But thank you for watching, guys. It's been really good. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it was a bit difficult at the beginning, but it's important, I think, that I show you that these bugs appear and exist, so that if you try the demo yourself, you know what to expect. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye for now.